Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Threadlings. Um, ooh, sorry about that. I got to sneeze right in there. Um, my name is Miguel Ortega, and this is my co-host Tran.
Hi, everyone.
I already brought one because I felt that was going to come. Tran just passed me a tissue. So sorry about that. How's everybody? Let's see who we have here. Sohi, hello. Ruben, very enthusiastic as well. He's more enthusiastic than we're gonna sound today. We're really tired today. Ted, what's up, man? And yeah, thank you guys for coming. Um, yeah, we're talking about the making of the Threadlings, a film made entirely in Unreal Engine and Maya. Um, yeah, so let's get on with it. Tran has been working on some cool stuff this week. I'll show you guys some stuff on the animation side, some shots that are moving along.
So I actually started the sword last week, and when I started with the sword, I started with these edges, as you guys saw me kind of doing that. I didn't get very far, but I still kept working on it, and then now this is the result, and this is all polymodel. So none of this is sculpted. You can see it far away.
That looks kick ass. You made my stupid concept look kick ass.
Thanks. And then I just wrapped up the details here.
So this is the Mayo sword, so you can see it says Mayo. If you zoom out, we'll show all the detail first, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, I built all these. And then just the handle. I mean, I got to clean up some stuff, like down here. But yeah, that's it. It's very done. Pretty complete sword. And then here, it's a sword that says male. I don't know if you guys can see the letters.
It's not supposed to be in your face, but it says Mayo.
Yeah. So that's like M. That's pretty obvious. And then A. That's the A. Y. And O.
It's super stupid, but I wanted his sword to be special.
Yeah.
So, came up with the drawing, and then Tran made it a million times cooler than it should have.
I mean, it's like very seriously modeled.
It's modeled like it's He-Man's sword.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all the details. I think you guys saw me do some work here too. So I've been busy on this, and then on like paperwork stuff, which is really crappy. But it's all related to.
You could explain what it is.
It's like it's basically SAG paperwork stuff, which I don't want to say too much stuff about it.
You don't have to get into details, but just.
But it sucks.
By us using SAG actors, SAG basically means union actors. It makes things much more difficult.
It does. It makes things more difficult. It's much more complicated. Becomes more expensive, and we don't like have like a producer like that. Someone else that helps us with this stuff. So we do everything ourselves, and yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing. It's always like a bit more of a pain. It's like trying to navigate it, trying to find information, and then figure out what you're supposed to do, and then waiting, and then setting up other stuff that sucks. So that's been also part of my time. And then Miguel's going to show some stuff. We had done like a mocap session, like that was 2 days, and we have like 2 Excense mocap suits, and we did it, and then we didn't get everything. It was like I would say not a very good shoot, not because of the actors. Actors were great, but like the suits completely malfunctioned, and they weren't working, and we had 2 days of it.
They're actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it was really bad, and so yeah. So then now we have to do it again, but we have to do it here in our place because we don't have the school is moving to like this really amazing campus, so we don't have that, and so we have to like clear up a bunch of space in our space in order to just finish this. So it's kind of like going back, working on trying to make things work, or things didn't work out, and then trying to make up for that. So, yep,
Yeah. So
that's
doing a lot of that stuff, like making our house so that you could run around in it.
yeah, and then paperwork stuff. So very not exciting stuff.
SAG rates.
It's not even the SAG rates. It's not even that at all. Like that's, but it's like everything else you have to do and all the other paperwork you have to do. That is just a lot of work. It's just not very easy for someone like me. I'm sure if you're like this is something you do all the time, you're like, oh, easy peasy. But if you don't do that stuff all the time, it's just connected to like so many things. Yeah. You want to show what you have on your screen?
Yeah. Um, so this is just some of the mocap, and it's been cleaned up. The hands are cleaned up. It's pretty good. This is cleaned up by Edward Smith, who I met at SIGGRAPH last year. He's a friend of an old friend of mine. He did a good job. So it's all cleaned up. The hands are nice and clean. There's no interpenetration.
Yeah, it does look pretty good.
So I'm moving through it quickly, but just checking for any problems. You know, the thing that really saves everybody a ton of time more than anything is the studio tools. Like most of the stuff with the mocap cleanup, you're cleaning up a bunch of stupid hands. That's really most of it. You're cleaning up the hands. You're cleaning up like the interpenetration. Interpenetration is easy, right? So if you were to come over here and go to your animation layers, you could see.
Do you give them those hand poses?
Oh, of course. I spent some time to make sure that all the poses are. Sorry, my brain just freezed out when I was looking at some of this stuff. That all the poses are the way I want them to look. So if you look at, like, there's still a few that I would address, like some of the bending backwards, like the hands are breaking in reverse. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I get why it's happening, and I do like that it's a little bit extreme, but I would just fix that. So you could just like let me see, that would be his select objects here, and I could just go to let me see, which one would it be? Show NURBS curves.
Yeah, you made a lot.
Yeah, I made a bunch. No object matches. Oh, it's because of the name spacing. Give me 1 second.
My computer just crashed. So everything went down. hope to see the texturing workflow from Mayo's sword. I think it would be pretty easy. Is that camera tracking the hand? No, I think Miguel is just steering around.
Yeah, what I'm doing now is just showing like I'll show you in a second. Let me see if this. What is going on here?
So
Yeah, the namespace, it's acting weird, so I'm not going to figure it out in the camera, but basically, once it works, I have this entire library of poses, and you would just swap them and quickly hit those poses. Caught overall, caught deliver. Is that not it? Let me see. So, select objects. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not. Why it's not doing it. It's definitely because of the namespace. I know that. I just gotta figure it out. But
yeah.
anyway, so the the whole thing is cleaned up, which is great. So it doesn't have the simulation. So that's that. Another thing we got is this, which is pretty cool. Let's open this up here. Give me 1 second.
Okay, yeah, nice, good update.
So this was sent by Luma Pictures. So they're doing this shot. It's animated by Justin and supervised by Raphael, who I've known since I was like 9 years old. So it's pretty kick-ass. So you can get an idea of this is Zort's death. So they did two versions. They did this one, and then they did a version where he's lifted up. You can see the stinger goes right through his mouth, all the way through to his mouth. It's pretty brutal. When you pause that, it's barbaric. Like, look, he's like literally just like lifted up by it.
Yeah.
And then Cotton Mayo would run in. It would roar at them. God, that movement on the little nose thing is so kick-ass.
Yeah, the animation is really,
It's incredible.
it's really,
These guys are so good.
really, really good.
So, okay, so we got that, and I was like, okay, this is great, but it's not exactly how I want this. So I cut both versions up, and we have this. Kind of show how it's going to work. Let me see.
Ted asks, is that fireballs? No, it's not fireballs. It's like just magic. That's not like his final magic
Yeah, it's
either.
just temp.
Yeah, it's just to get the timing.
So here, Mayo will be over here. He's missing. So Cod and Mayo are like, we got to do something. They light up their sword. They come out running. Their hands are glowing. The moth blows his wings, screams. They fall. This animation has to be redone for sure.
Oh, you mean when caught falls back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has to be like hand animated.
You can see this. So this is the file that I sent back to Luma to show them how I want it. So you could see how it would get cut between the two of them. Oh my God, we got to do something. We got to do something. Blah blah blah. They look. Bam. He gets crucified, basically, impaled. Here, it lights up his sword, and they go running out to try to scare him. The thing is protective of Zort.
It flaps its wings.
Flaps its wings.
And then
roars at them.
Yeah, Cod's supposed to be blown back, but obviously the mocap animator couldn't do that.
Yeah. So here you can see he's like, before he got like a double injection here. So I'm doing like a really rough cut here. You don't even notice it. There's 2 cuts there. So keeping it at 1. He's just like basically pumping him with moth juice there. Up his butt, basically. And Cod is going to be freaked out, and then he's going to take off with Zort's body. So you can see it's like literally just like, at this point, I just grabbed the edit, rotoed out Cod just to illustrate to the animators what needs to happen. So the sword doesn't have magic powers. Cod has magic. So he ignites the sword, and the sword, since it's metal, of course it's total Threadling logic, the magic just stays on the sword, but it doesn't light up without Cod.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the other thing we've been working on. So right now it's a lot of people management. So like this, like as you could see, this is just getting the team to get all this stuff.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Like, the more people you have, the more you have to spend time managing them properly. Like, if you have them working on stuff, you obviously have to try to pay attention to everything that they're doing.
If you don't, you will pay for it because, yeah, you have to.
Yeah, that's just how it is, and it's tough because you need them, and it's great. But if you invest the time that you should, you don't do a lot of stuff that you have to do. So it's just trying to find that balance, so which is tricky.
So he says the penetration is intense. Yes.
Yeah, that's an intense penetration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That just sounds weird. Okay, so, but you know the thing is it actually sounds like exactly what it is. I mean, he is getting basically stabbed in the worst possible way. That's the thing. It's like it's not even misinterpreted. It's like actually exactly what is going on. That's kind of messed up. Okay, so what am I doing here? So I have this other shot. Well, it's the same shot of Kot coming to tell Shrog, but this is now his non-cleaned up animation. So now I got to get both of them to work together. So I got to find.
Yeah, and then it's also
Kot here.
I have to change the layout of the hallway a little bit, just the way, the staging, where does Zort walk in, the angles, their performance. So we've changed the set a bit to get that to make sense.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work.
What is this? This is caught overall. So I just gotta get him over to where Shrog is. So you can see this is like on an animation layer. So all the animation is being moved as a whole into position. And it works basically exactly like a normal layer. That part of the animation is its own separate thing. So let's see where he's at. So the timing is not going to be perfect here, but it allows me to, because their mocap, again, since our mocap system was busted, we weren't able to have them do this at the same time, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we have to do. So it's like paperwork, troubleshooting, managing, it's that kind of fun stuff.
But this is so right now I got to get caught to look like he's talking to the professor.
And that's why like some of the stuff, the buildings have to be, or like where the rooms are and where they enter has to be readjusted. And we wouldn't have had this problem had both suits been working. Then it would have been like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. I also have to keep in mind here what the framing would be. So it's like, okay, so Mayo, so Shrog would probably be like this. Now I got to have Mayo in here also. So probably something like this. But I need to see the door in the back. So let's delete that. So that's him explaining the story, what he just saw. And what he just saw, of course, is the murder of Zort. But you can see the eye lines here starting to get crazy. Someone walks in, and it's Zort. Shrog acknowledges him, and Cod is like, what the fuck? What the fuck? How could that be? So this timing has to be adjusted because they're clearly not synced.
Yeah.
Ted's like, I wish mine had night. Yeah. I wish I had lighting. I wish I had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they were showing like some of the features for Houdini 20.5 or whatever they're at, and it's kind of crazy at this point. Just how every single version is better and better and better, and Maya like just got their bevels fixed. Let's see. So let me save this.
you know, doing stuff in Maya takes much longer because you just don't really know what things look like. And the other issue is like you're you really have to manage your scene. So like I always had to like track my poly count and like how much I have and if it's too much you need proxies, things like that. And it like you're not even really being creative. Uh, a lot of time is just spent like managing your scene and cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Guess who's here?
Netbug.
Hey, Netbug.
So I'm going to figure out kind of like what my cameras would be for something like this. So probably go. So I always try to go as long as possible. So maybe like 55 or 50 as a starting point, which is not long at all, but so something like this would be one. Let's do. So this would be the reverse. So I would have to have them on opposite sides of the frame so that you understand, you know, where they are. Now I need mayo in here, so I have to keep in mind that mayo.
And that's the thing, we didn't get Mayo at all, which is super messed us.
Crappy. Yeah.
Yeah, it messed us up big time. Um,
But maybe something like this would be our reverse. I'm going to totally use this angle a lot so that I don't have to have the lip sync on caught. So I can be off a little bit. So that would be our reverse angle. I'm going to duplicate this, select camera, duplicate panel perspective. And I'm going to go with a longer lens here. For much more of a hero shrug. This is when you really want to sell what he's thinking. Like when he's like, oh, you're full of shit. This would be it. This is kind of more like this. Okay, so we'll have this one, so we could call this shrug hero cam. Let's go to our view select. So we'll call this shrug.
if you guys are looking at my screen, I am just UVing it. Basically, I'm trying to get as many hours into everything as I can.
So we'll do caught, wide, and I'll also create a duplicate of this. Which I will turn into . perspective, caught wide. So I'll call this caught hero, which is basically just a close-up. And for stuff like this, I'll definitely go for like an 80. 80 is my favorite lens. Now, I gotta keep in mind that Mayo is gonna be here, so I'm gonna say that Mayo is over here. So let's just take a look. Shit, I wish he was looking the other way.
This is also things like if we can get the suits working. So we have to clear up space. We have to do a bunch of tests for all this. And we have to schedule them and bring back the mocap actors.
This is an example of like, I wish that I had this blocked differently now that I see it here. Like I would never have had him turn around this way. I would have had him turn around the other way.
But when we bring them back, this also gives us an opportunity to do all that.
Yeah, but this has already been cleaned up, so we're
just like stuck like this.
Not necessarily, but it's it just sucks.
Yep.
Yeah. So one thing I could try to do is export out all the animation, basically treat it like new motion capture and re-import it. And in the import settings of the motion capture, there is a way to mirror the entire animation. But I'm not gonna figure that shit out. I'm gonna have the animators figure that out. I mean, I know how to do it. I just don't want to. I don't want. I don't want to be the one to do it. It's just in the HIK settings. Let me see if I have it here. I could probably break everything. Should be. Let me see where I have this. I wonder if it's because it's baked in already.
You mean the animation?
Yeah.
If you guys know my screen, exciting stuff.
Here, just show a little bit.
I'm just UVing this guy. But it's actually pretty fast, in my opinion. So I'm just cutting him up. I already know how I want these to be laid out. Looking at it, it's going to have a lot of UDIMs for its size.
Yeah, it's HIK properties, but I'm not seeing that. I know it's HIK properties, but I can't find my tab for some reason. Where did you go? It just has like a zillion tabs. Yeah. No, I know how to do it. I just have to find the stupid tab. It's in here.
So you guys see what I'm doing. I'm just cutting this stuff up. But this won't take that long. You know, it doesn't feel long for me, but
When it's on a stream,
I'm
it
like, yeah,
feels
like last
forever.
night I was like working on this. Yeah, that's another thing too. Our schedule is really messed up, especially mine. It's like super messed up. So I don't know what everyone else's schedule is like. And my schedule is like wake up, work, and I wake up whenever I have to.
So he says she loves watching UVing.
She's like the special weirdo.
Yeah. That's funny.
This is not relaxing for some reason. This looks like the shape looks super weird. Okay, I don't know why it's like this.
So
I just unfold it again. But yeah, so our schedule is really, kind of weird. My schedule is weird. In particular, I like work pretty much until like I don't know how like I went to sleep last night. Not even at night. I don't sleep at night anymore. I sleep in the morning. So last night, or technically what I think is last night, I went to sleep like at 6 in the morning, and then I'm awake now. But that's kind of how it's been. So I'm just really tired and not sleeping that much, trying to like do a bunch of work. And yeah, so that's why I'm like slow. I'm definitely slow.
Ted gave a good way of finding it. Forget about DAG objects. Where are ye, bastardo?
For me though, like I feel like when I work at night, I do so much better. Like I get a lot done. Like yesterday at night, I could like do all this stuff, and I feel like really slow during the day.
Watching Tran UV is relaxing. Yeah, we just need to get some sounds of waves, like, and market it like sounds of UVs in the Bahamas with Tran.
For whatever reason, this one is UVing really poorly. It's all crooked and weird. Um,
I wonder if you could make a channel. You know, how people do like the restorations of you just UV, like that's it. It's just Tran UVs. That's your channel.
I don't think that's interesting at all. Here, watch me do this thing.
Would you think that a 4 hour long video of restoring
Yeah, because at least
a lantern,
you kind of like understand what that is.
raindrops? Yeah, Bob. I think Bobby's right. Raindrops would be better. We'll have two versions: the raindrop one for the emo kids, and then the beach one for the normal kids.
All right, this one just won't be straight. Just wants to be crooked.
So he's gonna subscribe to your channel.
Thanks, Sohi. At least I know I have one subscriber.
So he's your one fan.
Yeah.
Now you have a few fans here.
Okay, hold on. I'll just let this be cricket. I give up. Um, let's see. I'm just going to slice this up. For me, if I get to UV, it's always very relaxing because I don't have to think. So like, it's one task I could just really check out on. Let's just toss this here. Let's see how this moves. And save it. So I just want to check to see if they're stretching. I mean, maybe here. This is so tiny. I can't tell. It looks like it's stretching here. Maybe the way this is sewn is bad. Let's unfold this area. And then just sew where that came from. Unfold that. Maybe these will be straighter if I unfold them now. Nope. It's stretching over here. So it's stretching here because this polygon's really long. Anytime you see long polygons, meaning non-uniform ones, you will get stretching. So that fixes that. Okay, good enough. So this is going to have a ton of UDIMs, well, for its size, and then it'll be textured at 4K. We'll probably use like 2K maps just so that the file is a little bit smaller. And then if we have close-up shots, which is a huge possibility because it's like a main character sword, then we'll use like, we can use the 4K maps. Let's just flip these.
The channel would do numbers.
Channel would do numbers.
Yeah. That's young kid slang. It means it would get a lot of views. And he even added bet at the end.
What does bet mean?
Bet is like what the young kids say for like, you better believe it, or like, even that sounds like an old guy when I say you better believe it.
Yeah,
Like,
how old are you, Bobby? Are you an old man talking young, or are you like a young person
no,
talking?
bet is like, okay, like if we go, oh man, we're gonna make a bunch of money with this, and you go, bet.
For real?
Yeah.
I'm so old. Like what?
No, your nephews definitely say bet, 100%.
Oh, I think they do.
We're not making fun of you, Bobby. We're being made fun of for being young is the best insult in the world. So.
Oh yeah, being young is awesome.
Yeah. If you say I trade places with you and get. I don't even know how Bobby is. Maybe Bobby's like 70. All right, so let's see.
So I'm slicing this part of the,
I took over the screen for a second
yeah.
just to show like, so this would be the hero. So I gotta figure out the framing of this. Now here's the thing. Right now I am kind of doing everything as one long take, which is not the way we did it on Voice in the Hollow. So I have to be, like for example here when they walk away, like he's walking off into the wrong direction. It's not really that big of a deal. Like once I go into the edit, I could resolve a lot of this stuff. Like shit, I want that right there, that turn right there. Wait a minute, damn, I wish he turned the other way. So yeah, I just got to figure that out. It's probably not a big deal, but it's a big deal now. So the other thing is I got to get the eye lines to match up. So on something like this, just grabbing that, very simple, but just making sure that they are talking to each other. Right? So something as simple as that, that's got to be done. So, yeah. Okay, so I'll pass this back to you.
Yeah, so I just finished editing some of the sword. As I was UVing it, I found like stuff was like poking out. So I cut off like this little section. I'm just gonna unfold this. I feel like something's wrong with my unfold. Because it should just kind of do this one pretty easy.
Layering animation is always interesting. It is interesting. Yeah, I like it, but it's a pain in the butt.
I feel like my unfold is like acting, well, it's actually acting fine. I'm just being lazy. Like I didn't cut out these holes. I want to get away with what I can. It stretches a little bit.
You'll never see that.
Yeah, but you just don't want it to look like horribly stretching. But that's fine. You can also see it's just a shell. It doesn't have any extrusion, but it's okay. Because you can't really tell. And now I'm just analyzing the shape. Because it's a little bit weird up here. Like when it smooths, it pinches a little.
That sounded like someone else logged in.
Yeah. Someone logged in as me.
Another Tran logged in.
Yep.
Your doppelganger. She's here to change the future.
Oh no, it's James.
Oh, I see.
Oh shit, I think this is gonna crash. I'm frozen.
You see, this is like the climax of the UV channel. Will she crash?
When it's like this, I tried to be too fancy. Well, was I fancy? I tried to slice an edge loop with mirroring on. I don't know when I last saved.
Did it crash?
I think it's froze. Like it, when it's like this, there's a chance it might come back in a few hours. Right?
Just like leave it alone for.
Yeah, but that's like, you can get a lot done. Okay, so I'll lose 7 minutes of work. So I saved 7 minutes ago. So let's just start it back up. Okay. When it's streaming, I'm like thinking, I can UV this in 5 minutes. So when I'm sitting there working, I think it's 5 minutes, and I'm looking at the time, and I started UVing this on the stream, and it's like been an hour. I'm like, oh, I'm such a liar to myself in terms of what I think my real actual speed is. Completely off. I'll just let this pinch. No, I can't. That's how I'm like, oh, now it's gonna crash again. It's like, no. So I'm trying to recut it, and I thought it crashed because of the mirroring. Okay. I just can't. I can't cut it. So this is kind of common. I think this is the stuff that slows me down the most. Like
Crashing?
like this type of crashing, trying to do a move, and then it's 2 times in a row and the same action. And then I start thinking like, how much do I really need it? Which is bad because you should make whatever changes that you want to make, especially if you think it's going to improve it. So then you either have a choice of just letting it look worse, which is usually bad, or try to figure out like what's a better way of doing it. Like, is there a more intelligent way, or try to work around it? So what I'm going to do is like delete history. And now this is super simplified. And I want to try to cut it from the front because I don't know, it's just going to magically work now. And it does. Okay, now it works, but not from this angle. Now, once I cut it, I do want to look at my topology and see if it flows still. And it does, ish. I don't even think it made it better. I just pretend it did. And then I'll mirror this. But it's kind of like sucks. I mean, like I kind of know if it's crashing the same action and I really want to do that same action, I have to like do it in another camera and it'll probably work, which is sucky. Another trick that I have is I use like these quad draw tools over here. I use the selection constraints to border. And then what that does is selects the points that are not merged. And I set the threshold like to 0 because it's like merging, you know, at default, it merges all these points. There's actually like 2 points here, and I have 1. Now, when you set to 0, sometimes the points don't merge. So when you have border on, what it will do is detect anything that's not merged. Just have to remember to turn it off because you can't actually select vertices anymore. So that looks good. And then I'll just UV this. Without any seam. Let's unfold it again. So this one's a really weird shape. Like it doesn't unfold under one go. I have to keep hitting the button. You know, I don't know. This one's weird. I'll set my text density to 15 because my sword's at 15. I don't use like the textile density with like hard rules like there are in games. It's just per character what I think. But they're all around like 12, 15 based on 512 map, which makes no sense.
I'm reaching out to Caitlin to start booking the next mocap.
Yeah. So it's just going to be crooked like this. This is kind of working where I'm like doing one part. It's really weird. Okay, now it's like really even. And let's just reset this. Let's duplicate this over. And I'll just flip this one. Oh, okay. So one thing I screwed up was I don't have that fix. Because I lost that. I just don't want this poking out here. Let's save this because it has a huge possibility of crashing. I'll reset this tool and set it to delete the faces I don't want. Okay. Needs to go higher.
I think we do have to get like the rain sounds.
What, you mean on this thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it poking through? Yep. So when I'm cutting it, I need to get some of this. Trying to make sense of it. I think James just put rain sounds on. Oh, you did?
You being with them. Talk slowly when you say that you being with them.
No. You can be the talker. How did like Bob Ross sound?
Monotonous like us. Except what he's doing is much more interesting. Let's see. I would watch Bob Ross still.
Let's just merge these. No, like he had kind of like a resurgence, didn't he?
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is like that, like all the paintings that he did, and he did like, thousands of paintings. He doesn't own them, or his family doesn't own them. Like the company that made the films did, or the show did. I don't know, there's a big dispute over who owns his likeness. All the Funko Pops and everything that were Bob Ross stuff isn't actually going to his family. I don't remember the details, but I remember there was some
Controversy of it.
So he thought it was raining outside. It's raining indoors.
Summer rain in LA.
It's raining planar projections.
Yeah. Okay, finally made it. You know, I do think I could really move a lot faster if this stuff didn't crash a lot. It did. Save. And let's repeat that step again. Go back here. Just freeze this. That's going to be reverse. Flip it. And merge these two. And I'll just put this in negative space because I don't know where it should go. This is UV, that's UV. These are, so are these. Oh, I'm almost done.
Is it just this rain thing actually just weird? Yeah, I guess it's right.
Yeah. UV this one. So I'm pretty lazy. I can cut it in half. It might be the least amount of work. Just unfold it. And let's see how it looks smooth. Okay, so down in here. It's pinching because long polygon next to this polygon, they're like totally different shapes. It doesn't do that from here to here because they're really similar. And there's also a seam. So you'll find pinch whenever there's a seam. You're going to have a possibility of a pinch. And then when you have very irregular polygons next to each other, so one very long, one long horizontal, long vertical, which are like contrasting, it doesn't like. I think it's doing that. So I could modify the topology, which I don't want to. So I'll cut it differently. This is kind of rounded. Maybe, maybe it'll look nicer if it's sharper. The reason why I want to do that is because I probably want to cut here. And if I cut one of these loops when there's only two, it usually means there will be a pinch. So you usually have to have a third one. And so I can maybe place one here. And see how much that changes. Okay, not too much. And then what I'll do is I'll have mirroring V on. this is right in the center. So now I should cut that side from him, precisely in the same spot, so it remains mirrored. And we can cut. Okay. And then we'll sew this. So now I'll have this like strip like this. And the best place to cut, I think I can cut, I'll get the same result whether I cut top or bottom. And I'm using the cut and sew tool in Maya, which is a nice tool. It respects like these white lines, which are the seams. It won't cut into that. And let's see how this goes. Looks pretty good. And no stretching. And we'll just orient these. It doesn't know how to orient these. The shapes are too strange for it. But it did a pretty good job on the other strips, so it saves me some time. Our UV used to be like so hard, like forever. Back in the days, like the rule was like however long it took you to model it was how long it's going to take to UV. Yeah. So if you had like, if it took you a month to make a car, which could be really complex, it would take you a month to UV. It's just crazy.
Yeah, people don't realize, like back in the days, there was no unfold. You had to manually
there was
move
no
those UVs to look like they're not stretching.
Yeah, and then they started having like an unfold option, but it still wasn't this algorithm, which is really nice. It was the old one, so it would always still look really messed up. And that's what you had. Let's see. This one's pretty stretched, but I don't think you see the inside. And it's not that stretched. It's good enough. For the small stuff, I actually tend to make them a little bit bigger. So this text of density is 30, and I'm going to do it for these ones too. And this one. Sure, so sometimes they look really crappy when they get small. And it seems to work on like a larger sword fine, but not this one. Okay. So we'll double the density here and see how large they make them. You know what? The rain sound relaxes me.
That's why it's UVing with Tran.
Yeah. When I was a kid, whenever I saw Bob Ross, I really enjoyed it.
This is the Bob Ross channel.
Yeah, it's my Bob Ross channel.
This is your moment. What?
Okay. Yeah, but U-ring used to be so bad, and because people still don't like it today, and to me, it's like it's totally fine.
I have a. You want the rain, or I could do classical music.
I think the rain's good. I think the classical music. Well, you could. It'd be really corny, I think.
I know, that's why.
Try it out. That's super corny.
This is Tran UVing something sad.
I don't know about this. I can't,
Okay.
I can't talk over it. I mean, you can talk over it.
How about more epic, like you're about to finish? Join today for Tran's UVing course. Okay, let's go back to this.
Yeah, it was a little too cheesy.
I thought it was cool.
Let's see here. These are about to touch. So I just merged the mesh. I have this strip, they're not joined. Let's merge them. I want to make sure this is relaxed since I just merged this. And if I select this and I do this, it's going to be ruined. I feel like it looks strange. It actually stretches more. And I kind of don't think it needs to. So what I'll do is I'll select the border, unfold the border, and then reverse, unfold the inside. And then that keeps it from any weird stretches that it may have. Okay. You know, like just the other day, I was trying to explain like 3D a little bit to someone who doesn't do 3D at all. And I was trying to explain like how everything has a wireframe if it's a model. And it's just like completely goes over someone's head if they don't understand 3D modeling. You know, they think it's clay, which I mean, ZBrush is kind of, it's like clay almost.
Wait, repeat that again. Who were you explaining this to?
When we were in the writing group,
Oh, I see.
I was trying to explain like how everything has a wireframe. And I'm like, this does not make sense. I can tell this makes no sense.
Oh, I mean, you think that's difficult to try to explain match moving to somebody that doesn't do CG?
Yeah. No, for sure. But you just realize like how foreign all this stuff is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like crazy when you think about what you have to learn, and how fast some people can learn it. Like the students and stuff, from not like knowing to just like understanding all these concepts.
What happened to the rain?
It still sounds like it's there. It sounds more like a distant stream or something though.
Yeah, I brought it up.
Okay, look, this is almost actually done.
James says it kind of sounds like static.
Oh, maybe that's bad. It does sound like static. The other one sounded more like rain.
That was
See?
natural sounds.
That sounds like water.
That's rain and something else. Look, there's a little bit of thunder. Distant thunder.
Okay, so I want to play Tetris here on my stuff.
Sweet, you got birds now too. Birds throw me off, so let me go back to the...
So I'm trying to squish all my UVs. So this set down here that I have highlighted, I don't have mirrored on this side. And since it's just a hero prop, I want to actually mirror it to the other side and have it have its own unique UVs. So what I'm trying to do is smush everything together and getting like really close to the border without touching, because that's bad. You always want to give it some edge bleed. I'll just smush these guys here.
I know I'm annoying. I'm trying to find the right Tran music.
One that fits.
This is it. It's ambient. This is for the new age Tran. You can talk about your crystals with this song.
Yeah, so Miguel's joking, but I am a crystal collector.
She doesn't think they have magical properties, though, just so everyone is clear.
You say it's like a bad thing.
The minute you tell me that this crystal has a magical power, I'm out of here. So he says that one sounded like something was frying. The sound of something frying. Yummy. Do you guys need matte paintings? Yes, we do. This works. This works.
Yeah.
This song.
I don't think I could fit everything. Well, these have really, really high textile density. Maybe these ones don't need to be as high. They're like double. So I'll cut it down. These ones I'll leave pretty high because they're not that bad. I can fit things like that. It's like a puzzle. Throw this here, here. And then I'm going to try to mirror the details on the other side. But there should definitely be plenty. Let's merge these. Okay, I didn't calculate these guys here. Okay, so these guys are merged. Save. Let's duplicate. Mirror behind it. And let's just flip this and toss it here. Let's freeze. So I forgot about these. I don't want to have 3 items if I don't need it. Okay, that looks like it doesn't overlap this one here. Throw this one here. This fits, but the other one doesn't fit. This is all very tight already. I wonder if I could Tetris these two. I could probably do this. And then these guys. There's no space. So he says she likes this one. This music. Okay, I don't know what to do this one.
Yeah. Oh, Keon is here. I don't know this is Keon. Now I know. Commentation. Commentation. Keon. In the realm of fantasy and magic.
As you can see, I'm like really
It works. This works.
What, the music?
Yeah, totally. Trans crystal UV channel.
I'm really trying to pack everything. I don't want to waste space.
Everybody that canceled their Adobe subscription is probably so mad that Adobe just reported like huge numbers, and their stock just exploded for the positive.
But why would they be mad at canceling their subscription?
There's a thing in your license agreement that kind of says that if you upload your data to the Adobe Cloud, which a lot of people use, I never use that.
Yeah.
But that they have access to your files, so they could train their models with it.
Oh, and then people were like, no, and then it canceled.
Guess so, yeah. But I just saw the thing pop up about how their stock is doing really well, which is what you would not think would be happening. I think the way they see it is they're like, we rather appeal to a broader audience than to a niche audience, and it seems blasphemous because they are a design software company, but it's kind of what Apple did. Look how quick Apple was to throw the artists under the bus. The minute they went mainstream, they're like, what was it, Final Cut Pro? They're like, screw this. They killed Shake.
Oh yeah, and then for a long time there was like no standard compositing software.
What they did with Shake was, I don't think people realize how insane that was at the time. Like, this was the compositing program. There wasn't like now where there's like so many different options. You have Nuke, you have what's the one that Blackmagic bought, and then there's a bunch now. I just can't think of any because I'm such a Nuke guy. But at that time there was only Shake. That was like the industry standard. I mean, Nuke is the industry standard today, but Apple buys Shake and then just discontinues it, and the VFX industry was just in shock. Like, wait, what do you mean? It's like someone buys Maya and says, we're gonna stop making Maya. It was equivalent to that. It was crazy.
Why did they do that? Were they trying to destroy, like kill it intentionally?
Well, they put all the technology. They basically bought it for the tech, and then they applied all the technology into their consumer Final Cut Pro, and then they didn't have a use for the program.
I see.
So they just rated it for the patents on the technology.
And then that was it.
Yeah, but people were freaked out. They were like, "What is going to happen?" And that's when Digital Domain, I guess, or their parent company, was like, "Hey, we've been developing this thing internally. Let's just sell it," and it worked out.
And it quickly became the standard right away.
I mean, overnight it became.
Everyone's like, let's use this.
Well, it was a real program, right? It was used at Digital Domain. It wasn't like a bunch of hobbyists making a program. Like, by it being at a VFX company first, they knew what people wanted. But then again, remember we were talking about this the other day when Mari first came out and they didn't have layers and it was being used at Weta and everyone was like, "Oh my god, this Mari is going to be the most amazing thing. It's going to be the most amazing thing." And version 1 did not have layers and people were like, "Wait, what the hell is this?" Remember that? It was crazy because everyone was like thinking that this program was going to be the most amazing thing in the world, and they would show some of the features and everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is going to be so incredible, so incredible." And then when we opened it, we're like, where do they keep the layers? And I remember like in the beta testing groups or whatever, people are like, "So where's the layers at?" And then when they're like, "We don't have layers."
Yeah.
It was like a car that doesn't have tires in a way. Like, people could not believe that of all the features they left out,
It was layers.
it was layers. Yeah,
We didn't use it though when it didn't have layers. So
100% we used it.
we
We
did.
totally used it. Yeah,
I don't think I mean, I remember jumping onto it right away because we had to.
we used Mari since before version 1. We were using it
We
when
were
it was,
definitely using the beta.
yeah,
I
and
don't I don't remember how I even got around that then.
there was a workaround that they put in there, which you had to create like layered material system, and it was very cumbersome, but that was the only way to do it. You'd have to treat it like a layered shader. um, but yeah, we totally used it because the thing that it had that is still so amazing about Mari is you could have 1,000 UDIMs at 8K and it'll handle it.
Yeah.
Remember, at the time, the only other program for texturing was Mudbox, and you would have more
And
than 4 UDIMs, and it would just crap out.
Mudbox and Photoshop. And I don't think Photoshop is a right like should ever been a texturing program because you can't even get your seams out.
No.
So like you paint it, you don't know what it looks like because you're painting it flat. Like you take a screenshot of your UVs inside Maya, and then you just would paint on top of it, and then try to. I don't remember. You have to get rid of the seams like some stupid way. We were using ZBrush. Back then, ZBrush was we would use that Z app link feature.
That's what we were using a lot. That was crazy too.
Yeah. Now, is there any reason for the sword to be multiple pieces?
No.
Let's oh, I can show you the when I made this here, when I was showing this last week, I did show this image. Right, so we got the shape, and then it has all these details. I didn't copy them because they kind of don't look very good if you trace them. I just got the impression of them and just did my own take on that. I'm gonna run cleanup on this. Okay, so didn't select anything. Faces more on 4 sides. Looks like look at that. This didn't go all the way through. This edge loop. Okay, I'll just cut it real quick. See if it mirrors and if it crashes. Okay, let's turn this off. Oops. All right, that's good. It's all clean. Let's just combine it. And it's just one geometry, which will make it much easier. Call it Mayo. Geo. That's it. Ta-da. Save this. I think peeps are using body. I tried using Body Paint 3D. And
Yeah.
I couldn't, I don't remember. It seemed like it should have been the thing, but there was something so wrong with it. I decided it was better to do it in Photoshop. What was wrong with Body Paint?
Fusion. That was it. Thank you, Ruben. That was it. Not it. That's still. It's still a good program. Fusion. Like Fusion had some cool stuff. Still has some cool stuff. Um, I think peeps were using 3D. Yeah, body paint. You know, I used body paint. I remember it was clunky as hell. Like it should have been a very simple thing, and it was clunky. I think that was created by the same people that created Lightwave, and they always make these really cool programs that are much more niche. Like at the time, body paint, and then they had that sculpting program, Sculptress, and then they just stop. They do one version and then they give up on it.
I'm going to smooth this mesh. So we don't smooth in Unreal. And I'm just going to check to see how good this looks smooth.
People like the music. They like Trans Crystal Channel. So this is. Let me just find out which one this is. I could do it next time. Okay.
There's no crystal.
So tell us a little bit about your crystals, Tran. What are your favorite crystals?
Dude, I don't think anyone here knows it or collects crystals. Does this look smooth enough? Does it need smooth one more time? It's going to get really heavy.
James says his wife collects rocks. So there you go.
Does she call them rocks, James? Or she call them crystals? Or is she a rock hound? There's actually a different class. So like there's crystal collector, which
Like they're all geeking out. Ruben is asking if you have amethyst.
I do. James says some of them are transparent. Those she'll call crystals. So there's rock hounds, which they go and they hike and they collect the rocks. There's specimen collectors, which are like higher end. And then there's crystal collectors like me, which get made fun of a lot. Okay.
As long as she doesn't think they have magical properties, we're fine.
I did get an they're cool. I got one uh recently that I really like. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. Maybe that this is exciting. Uh, None of this is probably exciting, but I'll just pretend you think it's exciting. Let me just see if I can.
It's not sculptress, by the way. What was it called, Tran? Remember we use it on the Ningyo.
It was Sculptron,
Sculptron,
Chronosculpt,
Chronosculpt.
and then it became Sculptron. Okay. Yeah, so this is one I just got recently. It's called Epidote. I don't know if I pronounced this correct, but it looks like moss. When you look at it as a still far away, you go, "Oh, that's a piece of moss," and it's not. So I think that's pretty cool.
We're showing crystals now.
Well, you just keep making fun of me, and you call it. It's a joke now. It's a crystal channel. So I might as well show you like
Show. I want to see.
this one.
Oh yeah. That's the one that she just bought.
And it's all a bunch of really tiny crystals.
Wow, you see, some people are nerding out here. Sweet Roll Stolen says my fave is carborandite.
Let's see. Your favorite is carborandite? What the heck is that? This is another one I got.
Oh damn, we really went all out Tran Crystal channel.
Carbor.
So he says, wow, I've never seen that crystal.
No, I'm looking at carborandite. Anyway, yeah, this is another one. Same thing, quartz and epidote. So it looks like moss, but it's not. Okay, back to 3D. I just googled carborandite.
What was it? Show it.
I'm not sure. Let's see. It looks like this. But these are they look ore coated. Or maybe they're naturally, this is natural ore. Or I'm referring to like the color.
You mean a sampler info node connected to a ramp?
No, it's a colored spec. Or I guess maybe in Unreal, it would be colored metallic.
Yeah, that's iridescence. That's sampler info node connected to a ramp plugged into the specular color.
You think so? It's not based on the facing ratio.
It is a little.
No, I think it's like just set. Like it's colored. It's just colored.
Okay, so then you don't have to put a sampler info. You just plug the ramp into the specular.
This is pretty cool. I don't know about this one, so you must know a lot. I'm like a beginner. Anyway, does this look smooth enough?
Yeah.
It is, right? Because I can smooth additional parts. Like, is this smooth enough, the main body?
Yeah.
And how about this one?
Can't believe this stupid idea worked.
What, the Mayo sword?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe this can be smooth one more time. Just this one like that. This is a heavy ass sword though.
It's worth it. Look at that.
I don't know, maybe this one too. Now it's like super heavy. Is that too heavy? It's it's 187,000 polys.
Maybe make a hero version and a not so hero version. Smooth and not smooth, or same UVs. Because we are gonna have close-ups of this thing for sure.
I mean, this is like good. This is already 100 something. These look fine. Smooth, like at this level.
This sword is so cool. I would totally, if I was a kid, I would want that sword.
this doesn't hold right here, you know?
I really thought this was going to be the dumbest idea, but it actually looks cool.
You thought it was, I thought it was cool. You were like, take the flames out. I'm like, the flames are the best part.
Yeah.
It's totally a He-Man sword. I like this with Mayo's character. This got moved. Let's save this. And then I think I'm going to try this out where I'm going to bake this. Make sure this has one UDIM. Optimize my scene so it cleans everything. And I'll start up Substance. I'm going to export this. And I'm going to texture it for 2 minutes. I don't have to rush the textures. I don't think it would take that long anyway. Texturing might be the fastest. I'm going to smooth it one more time. And then I'm going to see if I can bake this. So I don't normally do this. I have the lower one. And now I have the high one. And apparently this is what a lot of people do. They'll have the low mesh and the smooth one, and then they'll bake the normals. But I always thought that looks kind of weird. So we'll find out. This is 500,000 polys. Oh, I see James saying, we ain't got crystals that nice. Yeah, I got a collection. Let's do new. But you know, my collection is nothing compared to Miguel's collection of his Star Wars stuff. It's like everywhere.
It's not just Star Wars stuff.
No, I know. It's what is it?
Ray Harryhausen, vintage Kenner toys.
You have a lot of stuff. You have He-Man too.
Yeah. I love He-Man, even though he's super lame.
Okay, so let's see, like, you know, this is how it looks. I feel like if I bake the stuff, it won't look that much better. Let's put like a metallic texture or like base thing. And then, I mean, how nuts can I go on the texturing? Just keep it simple, right? You don't want it to be too ornate.
No, because it's gonna have fire on it.
Yeah.
Whenever he pulls it out, it's gonna light up on flames.
Oh, I changed this baking distance to be smaller. I think that's good. Let's just bake this and see if it does anything. I mean, I still need to bake anyway. Maybe it makes the mesh maps better. So I actually don't usually do this where I smooth a model and then bake it on the lower version. And the idea is that when I do this, it's going to look better. It actually does look better. I don't know if you noticed that. Were you paying attention?
Yeah.
Does it mean that maybe I don't have to bake this or smooth this?
You know, I don't think you need. That's very high.
Oh yeah, of course, this is high. That was what I baked. But I'm gonna try to step it down. Even more. I'm trying to undo the smooth because I don't know if I saved it. Now, if I don't smooth it, I don't have that. So I kind of have to, right? What do you think, Miguel?
Show me the other version.
So this is not smooth at all. And this is like 33,000 polys. Could I get away without smoothing it? I can't, right?
No.
So it has to be smooth one time.
Yeah.
It's still really high. That's like still 132. Which is fine. That's what this is in here. That does work. I can kind of show you what it looks like. So this is without it, without baking the high one. And here is where it looks kind of crap, like the beveling and the way the light rolls. And then that is the bake. Works pretty well. I still think you need to smooth it though. Just the extra smooth we don't have to have. Yeah, so that's it here. I think the one thing I'll do is I mean his sword is just basic, no?
I think it's
Just like metal.
very simple, yeah. And then the orange features, like the orange metal.
Yeah, so maybe here. That's the orange metal. And then what I'll do here, I'm going to start color blocking it. I'll use the polyfill because that should be pretty fast and just fine. All these here. I don't think that has it. So that's orange. That's orange. And then the A. And then just this sphere and this, right? And the reason why these are orange is to help the mayo read. Like that's the A, helps the Y and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's totally so you could read the letters.
Oh, thanks, Bobby.
It does. It looks freaking kick-ass. Even just like simple like
Well, that's
that,
why,
as you're like, yeah, that looks fucking awesome.
I mean, you could technically texture this here, but I just think like if you model it, it's gonna look much, much better. So that's the start. And I don't know what I would do. You know, I could make something that would make me cooler, but sometimes, like, I'm totally not against smart materials. Let's see what this looks like. Although, like this, you know, this one doesn't work at all. This was one voice in the hollow. I just want to see what this looks like.
Let me see what that looks like.
That's voice in the hollow.
From what? That was for the
Lion,
yeah.
the leopard, sorry.
It's too rustic.
For sure. But, um,
I do like the patina that it has around certain areas to make the letters read a little bit better.
Yeah, I do too. Here's another voice in the hollow one that I had built. It behaves really similar to the other one.
It looks almost exactly the same.
I think it is. But what I can do here is just strip it down. And it's this one that's like really intense. I mean, just like, it's just a material. So I can mess with this, which sometimes it works. Just lower some of the scratches. Definitely lower the dirt. I don't see it doing anything. Lower the aging. Or, you know, maybe it's just not working very well. Let's also try triplanar projection. When I use triplanar, I usually have to tile it a few times. So I could try using this. It doesn't seem to work very well. What I can do instead is I have this metal that's blank. I'll call this metal base. And I can go to each pass. So it looks here, this is driven by height. I can go to the height pass and just like lower it. I mean, this turns it off completely, but let's say I want to keep a little bit. Let's look at the roughness. It might be too intense. And I could also lower the roughness, which reduces that. So now it's much more subtle. But I don't think I actually like that roughness too much. Okay, so that's like the patina or the oxidation. And I'm not sure I even like this base metal. I think I might just want to do my own thing.
We're out of time.
Yep.
Just when we're getting to the exciting stuff.
Yeah. You know, maybe I could save this for next week because this is good enough to go to animation. I just need the model. I have the UVs.
I think you should. I think you can finish this next thing.
Yeah. So I don't have to rush in this. I can work on other stuff.
Even that color right there that you have is good enough for blocking stuff in. All right, guys. So that's it. Bobby, thank you for coming. Ted, Sweet Roll Stolen. That's a funny name. Sohi, Ruben, Keon, who's here somewhere. Everybody. Netbug.
One last cool look at the sword.
It looks kick-ass.
Maybe it looks better here. Yeah.
You know, what's cool is it has that corny 80s look that we wanted, but the fact that it's his name makes it his own thing, which is cool.
Yeah, and he's, you know, just a goofy kid
Let me see.
with a really cheesy sword. But I like him carrying this. Like fits his character.
You could see here.
You're not showing. Oh, there you are. That was the original.
That's it. Tran made it way cooler than I did.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the idea. It's the same thing, just yours is cool.
Well, ran it through that magnific thing.
Yeah.
And then gave a lot of ideas, made it faster.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's still the same exact dimensions.
Oh yeah, it's the same. Like the whole concept, the idea and everything, that it just helped me model it faster.
Yeah.
So like I didn't have to interpret anything. It was really cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. So thank you for coming. Thank you for Crystal streaming. Yeah, we'll use this music next week too. How heavy will it be for the hero to hold? Do you mean like heavy as in the poly count, or heavy as in how much it weighs?
Yeah, because it could be an animation thing.
I think he holds it
he holds it like,
effortlessly.
yeah, we don't want to make it like a thing.
Yeah, Mayo's awesome. So,
I also think that the sword's gonna magically appear and disappear. He's got a cape, so he's gonna pull it out. It
from
just
behind his cape.
from behind his cape. It's gonna be like very like cartoon logic. Yeah, and that's how we're gonna roll with that. Because he doesn't have anywhere to put it, and we don't want it to have him all the time. No, it's gonna. Yeah, he says wait. No, it's gonna be light.
All right, guys. So thank you. Thank you to Dell and NVIDIA. No, that's good that you look at that stuff.
And the sword is like, it's a hero sword, but it's not like the key to like, it's not like He-Man's sword, where He-Man has to have his sword. Right? Isn't that how He-Man powers up? Yeah.
He-Man raises the sword, and then the Sword of Omen. That's not the Sword of Omen. That's Thundercats.
Yeah, sorry. This is a good question.
I mean, of course. That up there.
Oh, I didn't see that. Anyway, bye everyone.
See you guys. Oh, what happened to my thing? You're gonna have to do the log off. My screen just died.
James?
I think my computer just died.